Hola, hola. My name is Ramon, cosmetic chemist, esthetician, lover of all things skincare. And here we are wrapping up my favorite skincare of 2022. We're on sunscreens right now. It's gonna be part one of my favorite sunscreens of the year, just because obviously we did a lot, we tried a lot. And today is going to be my favorite Korean sunscreens of 2022. These are sunscreens that either launched this year or that I just tried for the first time this year. Just because these are my favorites for this year does not negate or cancel out any of my favorites from prior year. These are just new favorites I've added. Also, don't forget to check out all the videos for my other favorite skincare of 2022. We've done cleansers, toners, essences, serums, treatments, moisturizers. So let's get into Korean sunscreens. I'm gonna start off by saying there's no mineral sunscreens in this video. I'm sorry, I just did not find any Korean mineral sunscreens that I really enjoyed. But I will also say there is a fun surprise at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned and watch for that. But getting started with my first Korean sunscreen, half of these are sunscreens I bought while I was in Seoul this year at Olive Young. Some of them I love so much that when I went back this month, I actually purchased backups. And then some of these are just general, like the globally loved Korean sunscreens I got to try this year as well. Let's get started with one of the Olive Young sunscreen. This is from a brand called A.H.C. This is their Safe On Light Sun Serum. Everyone knows A.H.C for their sun stick. So when I saw this at Olive Young, I was like, what is this all about? And this is a really nice lightweight gel sunscreen. What caught my eye initially was on the packaging. It says brightening and anti-aging effect. When I pumped this out, this is like a pink gel, like completely translucent pink gel. And I was very surprised with the texture because it was so lightweight, it just melts into the skin. One thing that is a little bit of a caveat to me a little bit is just the fact that the texture is so lightweight, it melts into the skin, but it leaves you glowy. It's not a matte finish, it's not a natural finish, it's a glowy finish, but I'm Glow by Ramon. I love a glow. And it's just really interesting. There's a lot of ingredients in this. This is a very lengthy ingredients list, but what was interesting, if I remember correctly, was the fact that this had some ingredients to target pigmentation, a lot of antioxidant ingredients, very hydrating ingredients, and they encapsulated the filters on this to be able to make it a lot more lightweight on the skin. So I think that was really interesting. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is a Kolmar sunscreen. No, this is a Cosmax sunscreen. So very different. A lot of sunscreens I'm featuring today are Kolmar sunscreen. This is one of the Cosmax ones, but really fun texture, really interesting finish, really nice wear on the skin. And I actually forgot to repurchase this while I was in Seoul. This is going to be more of like a spring, fall sunscreen, not exactly a summer sunscreen, but you can actually get this on the global Olive Young website. So next up, another favorite. This is actually, I think, my boyfriend's favorite sunscreen of the year. This is from a brand called Dr. G. This is their Red Blemish Soothing Up Sun. Dr. G is like the #1 skincare brand in Korea, maybe. If not, for sure, they're the #1 sunscreen brand at Olive Young. And I know that because Odio Manad did like all these like end of year lists on her Instagram story, and I'm always checking her Instagram story for really great Korean skincare recommendations. But the thing with Dr. G sunscreens is that either they are combo or completely mineral, and they do leave a white cast or tone up effect, which I'm not about. So this was the one sunscreen I found at Olive Young that was chemical, no white cast, and looked good on me. And this, I really like it because it's very reminiscent of the Purito Centella Safe Sun, like the OG Purito. The texture, the feel, the wear, and the finish on the skin, it's all very similar. And plus it has a lot of the same marketing, like the Centella and everything. But this, again, it's not matte, it's not natural finish. This does leave a little bit of a glow on the skin, but you're not gonna be dewy, greasy, like sticky. It's just a moisturized finish. But we actually bought backups of this. My boyfriend and I each individually bought backups. And what's fun is that Olive Young, and so when you buy the box of it, it's a 2-pack. So I have backups on backups, but definitely a highlight of the year. And this was one I reached for a lot when I was starting my Tret journey and my skin was going through it. This was, I think, one of my biggest highlights from the Olive Young Seoul trip. This is from a brand called SNP. This is their Cool UV Perfect Air Cool Sun Cream. I love this because this is basically think of it as a Korean dupe for the Biore Aqua Rich Watery Essence. The look of it, the feel of it, the texture of it, the wear on the skin, it all hits the same things. The only difference is that this is not water resistant, but it just gives a lot of the same vibes as the Biore Aqua Rich Watery Essence. And I like that texture. I like a gel texture. I like a nice glow. This reapplies over makeup really nicely. It's one of my preferred ones for that. And yeah, it was really nice. And this was actually really affordable. I believe if for like $11 or $13, you got a like double full-size pack of these at Olive Young. And I also did buy backups of this last year. But you can buy this on the global Olive Young website as well. Let's do a water-resistant Korean sunscreen because I know a lot of you guys always ask for these, and honestly, they're hard to find, but this one was a home run. This is from CNP. This is their Outdoor Fluid Sun SPF 50 plus PA4 plus, and this is right on the front, fresh waterproof formula. Granted, waterproof sunscreens aren't a thing. Water-resistant sunscreens are a thing. And this one I was really surprised by. I remember I screenshot this because Odile mentioned it on her story, and when I went to Olive Young, it was right there, front and center, and I picked it up, and I actually used it a couple days, when I needed like body coverage in Seoul, because let me tell you, that Seoul summer, it was like 90 degrees plus 90% humidity. It was hot. And so I would like literally go to Olive Young just to take the tester, apply it on my body and like leave. But this is a really nice product at Olive Young. This is not expensive if you're in Seoul. If you order it online, I don't know if it's available on the global Olive Young website, but I have seen it on Stylevana, and Stylevana does hike the price up a little bit, but this is actually really worth it. And I say that because when it comes to water resistant sunscreens, a lot of times you compromise some of the elegance because you want the water resistance. You really need to have something that's going to stay on the skin, be heavy duty, have good film forming abilities. And a lot of times when it comes to that, that's when you get greasy, sticky textures. I filmed an Instagram review of this, and I don't know why, I don't know what possessed me to do so. I put so much product on my face, worked it in, and after like 5 to 10 minutes, it sat down to a very satin finish. Like my skin was not greasy, not shiny, not sticky. It was very elegant. It hadn't clumped up in my facial hair, hairline, beard, nothing. It was such a nice finish. And that's when I knew I was like, this is a keeper. Plus it has some really nice ingredients in it. I believe it has some really good antioxidant benefits as well. So this really puts a lot of these like European water resistant sunscreens to shame. If you can get your hands on this, I highly, highly, highly recommend doing so. 1000%. Also, you get a good amount of products in here. There's 80 mil, and I believe this was less than $20 when I bought it at Olive Young. So now let's get into the globally loved like recent launches this year. Number one, I think this is like one of every oily skin individual's favorites for the year, from TOCOBO. This is their Bio Watery Sun Cream. This just is very lightweight. It's milky. It melts into the skin. The first time I tried this, I literally did like a line across my cheek, literally rubbed it once, and it like disappeared into my skin. So it's very, very lightweight. This doesn't leave you matte is the only thing, but it doesn't leave you glowing. This definitely leaves you in that more natural satin territory. But for me and my oily skin, this just melted in right away. And this basically reminds me of like if the La Roche-Posay and Thelios Invisible Fluid had just a little bit more of an elegant texture, because it's really nice, milky, lightweight, and it's hyper elegant. My only qualm is that this smells the same way a flower shop smells to me. Like it smells like plant water. Like that's my only issue with this. But I really love that I can apply excess amounts of this. I have no elegance issue on my skin, no sensory issues. It's not sticky or greasy. This reapplies beautifully on top of itself, reapplies nicely on top of makeup. So very elegant formula. I can understand why this was everyone's favorite for the year. A personal favorite that I don't think a lot of people have talked about, this is from Sun by Me. It's their Truecica Aqua Calming Sun Cream, SPF 50+, PA4+. This also is kind of reminiscent of the original Perito, but a little bit less shiny on me. Very much more of like that nice, elegant dimethicone heavy formula that like sets down really easily. Leaves a nice natural finish on the skin. This is very much in line with a Sun by Me sunscreen though. It has that like bergamot citrusy essential oil scent to it. So do note that if you have a sensitivity to Sun by Me sunscreens, if you have a sensitivity to essential oils, this does have essential oils. But I like it. I like the smell. I love the texture. I love the feel of this. This is one of the sunscreens I reach for when I just need a sunscreen that's gonna work, not mess with my makeup, leave me nicely moisturized, but with a very natural finish. This was, I think, one of my top favorites of the year. They do got a mineral version of this though, and that one sucks. I will say that. And then another favorite from Skin 1004. This is the Hyalu-Cica Water Fit Sun Serum. I really love Skin 1004 products. I did a review of a bunch of their products from their regular Centella line last year. I did a couple products from their Hyalu-Cica line. I love Centella, you know that. I love hydrating Centella products. And so when I saw this launched, I was really, really excited. This is, if you know, you know, another one of the Kolmar sunscreens. So the same category as like the Beauty of Joseon and a bunch of other sunscreens that launched from Kolmar in the last couple years. What I will say is this falls for me in line with the more elegant formulas. So like Beauty of Joseon is one of my favorites. It's not mentioned this year because I think it was a favorite from last year. This is very similar to it. To me, this is a little bit more hydrating and has a bit more of a glowy finish compared to Beauty of Joseon, but it's definitely very similar because it's the same base formula. But do note, because of that, if you have deeper skin, this is likely to potentially leave a white cast on you just because of that Tinasorb M UV filter. But for me, this is one of those ones I reach for when my skin is really sensitized or it's irritated or it's very dry because of my Tretz. This is one I reached for a lot this last summer and fall as the seasons were transitioning as well. So definitely favorite of the year. Full disclosure, I did do an ad for this though this summer. And then the last sunscreen I'm going to talk about today is actually a surprise. If you follow me for a while on the channel, you have seen I have been back and forth between Seoul, working on a very, very fun project with a brand that I honestly very much love. And I'm really excited to talk about this because this is a sneak preview. I just found out the other day. This is launching in January. So stay tuned for that. But I've been talking about a sun stick, talking about sun sticks a lot this year just because they've been everywhere. But one thing I've noticed is that there's not really a lot of matte sun sticks. A lot of the ones I've tried either leave a moisturized finish or they're just like plain greasy. And this brand came to me and they were like, we would love to do a collaboration with you. And they're like, we're thinking sun stick. And I was like, I got 3 words for you: matte, sun, stick. And they were like, let's do it. So sneak preview, I have coming up with Beauty of Joseon, a matte sun stick. I've teased this on my Instagram and my TikTok and here on YouTube. And I'm excited that you're finally gonna be able to try it. So stay tuned and I'll have more information coming up on the channel. But with that, thank you guys for watching. That was my favorite Korean sunscreens of 2022. Let me know down below in the comment section were any of these your favorites, and also tell me what some of your favorite Korean sunscreens of this last year were, and what would you like to see from some Korean sunscreens in the coming year. Don't forget to go back and watch all of my other favorite skincare of 2022 videos. Again, I got a whole list ready for you guys. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you know when I post more skincare, sunscreen, and Fenty related content on my channel. Give the video a thumbs up, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye.